Yeah, how's it going, fellas? Welcome to Blood, Sweat, and Talanoa. We've got a special guest here by the name of ReiMana Leif. Kia ora, brother. Talofa lava, malo ni, kia orana. Kia orana, bro. Yeah, Tiare, you wanna...
Yeah, kia ora, Ray. Good to see you
Oh,
again there, mate.
kia ora,
Looking
kia ora.
quite healthy there, and yes, thank you for joining us tonight. And also like to also acknowledge our viewers that are watching Blood, Sweat and Talanoa. So kia ora to you all.
Yeah, well, bro, Ray, would you like to kick us off with, your background or your origins, your PPR?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Drew, bro, it's just
Well,
if you can kick
yeah.
us off.
Kia orana, I orana, talofa, malo ni, and aloha. Thanks for having us on, the Blood, Sweat and Talanoa brothers. It's been amazing watching you guys kaupapa here. It's so encouraging, and it's great for connecting us back. Bringing all the Porirua brothers back together. And I've been away from Porirua for a long time, and probably left Porirua when I was about 21. So, but I'll start off with my pepeha. Ko Mao te maunga, ko Tauranga te moana, ko Takitumu te waka, ko Rangi Nui te iwi, ko Ngati Taka te hapu, ko Tuterenga te marae, ko ReiMana Harding Leif ahau. So,
Oh,
yeah.
kia ora, my bro. Kia ora.
So I was born in Kenepuru Hospital in Porirua, 1972. That's a good thing. Mum and dad, dad's Harding Leaf. He's come from up north, Tauranga, and mum, Lavinia Narangi Williams. She's a Williams from Ratahi, so Mount Ruapehu. And I have a half brother, Willie Tahu, and also adopted brother, Sonny Leaf, and then my brothers, David Leaf, my youngest brother, Fitu, and then I have three sisters, Barbara Leaf, she's my older sister, Carleen, and then there's me, and then we had a younger sister after me who passed away by birth. And so I was like says born in Kenepuru Hospital, brought up in Ascot Park. Done all my school through Tairangi Kindy, Tairangi Primary School, Waitangi Intermediate, and Aotea College. Didn't do well at school. Was more, into the sports and not so much into the academic side. So yeah, spent Tairangi. I remember Tairangi Kindy. Te Hau and I, we're probably in the same kindergarten, I think, and even primary school. I went through primary school with Te Hau. So Te Hau and I have actually known each other since we were very young, and pretty much grew up together. We had our ups and downs, just like you do when you're young fellas.
Yeah.
I probably had more downs. But I was
Yeah.
we had a place in Syntax Place, which is just up the road from where Te Hau family lives now in Ascot Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I was sort of born, brought up there at a young age, and then we ended up moving across the other side to Beaumaris and that's where Tiari's parents live now.
Yeah.
And,
Well, they. Yeah, I was going to come to that story later on, but yeah,
oh,
no. So I was just gonna say, yeah, that I knew two of your siblings. It was Carlene. I think it was through back in the day, intermediates like basketball. Was it basketball? Something anyway. When they used to have the old recreation centre,
yeah,
so you had the intermediates and all that stuff sort of mixed up and that played in
yeah,
there. And then the big brother Dave,
yeah,
old I always bump into him at the gym. So yeah, bro. So and like you said, yeah, no, I remember mum and dad buying your parents like their home up in Beaumaris back in the
yeah,
day. It was
yeah,
big 5-bedroom house. Yeah. So
yeah,
and and then not until last year, that's when we caught up
yeah,
at the tournament
Yeah.
last year in Gold Coast, and that was really my first time really knowing you. Well, I knew you were there, but yeah, it wasn't really in back in the day. We weren't in that sort of same group. But no, we caught up and spoke about. We were brought up in Porirua and yeah, and spoke about the family and stuff. And then yeah, that's our connection, both of us. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was one of those black sheep kids, you know. So
Yeah.
you'll see me here and there, and then you won't for a while. I
Yeah.
used to disappear a lot, uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I have some memories about at Tairangi school. One of the things that I loved in Tairangi school was that the intermediate was straight across from the
Yep.
school, and
Yeah.
so at a young age, I used to go down and watch the Waitangi students playing rugby league on the field. And at a young age, I was probably maybe standard one, maybe, or and I wanted to jump on the field. I wanted to play with them. And so I'd sit down there, and as soon as someone got a break and they're off for a try, I'd chase them down. I'd chase them down and tackle them before the try line, and then they let me play. You know,
Sweet. So you were standard one. You were saying standard
yeah,
one.
I was young, bro. I was young as
Yeah. Yeah.
when we moved to Beaumaris.
Yeah.
Uh, how it's got a long hallway there, and then it opens up where the back door is at your
Oh
parents'
yes. Yeah. Back
yeah,
then, yeah.
so when I was like 3 or 4,
You played tackles.
I used to play tackles, bro. I
Done
used to
it.
get,
Wow.
Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, tackle me. And I'd go right down in the end bedroom and
Yeah.
full blast down that hallway, and run
Yeah.
into
True.
him.
Yeah. That's
So,
it.
so I just, we used to watch, the league with, they were the good times when we used to watch the league, the Australia, New Zealand, the
True.
Tamaris and the
Yeah.
Meningas and all
Yeah.
that. We used
Yeah.
to watch them live, and it was like, I just loved the game. I was like,
Did,
and,
did you get any opportunity to go down to Natoni to watch the old timers play down there? Or not
yeah,
old timers, but back in the day when the league
yeah,
was full
Mm,
yeah.
the
on.
Premier League, right?
Right.
Too.
The old man used to take us down there. We used to
Yeah.
watch. I remember those eastern suburbs. They were
Mm.
like the Fitu Henrys.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had
The big fellas.
all those fellas, and they
Yeah,
were dirty players, man. They used to put in and I
Yeah.
said,
Correct. Yeah.
look
Those
at
days.
these fellas, man. And they were ruthless. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I love that at Tairangi school, I could
Mm.
go and jump on the field and play with the big boys. And then I just wanted to play with the big boys after that all the time.
True.
Because
So,
Ray, I do remember, bro. You were, as soon as we got to like what standard 3 or standard 4, I think you were the fastest in our school. Remember athletics, bro?
yeah.
Hey, I know you're gonna say, "Oh no, it wasn't," but I'm pretty sure you were the fastest sprinter at our school those days in Tairangi, standard 4.
Well, I had to get away from you fellas chasing me all the time, bro. You want to beat me up?
You, Mr. Bully.
No, I was the bully, bro. Sorry, bro. But they used to gang up on me. They used to chase me around the school, bro, because I was a bully. Sorry, brother. Sorry.
No, bro. And that's sort of those days too.
Yeah.
Tairangi, we used to wear those rugby jerseys, the Tairangi rugby jerseys.
Yeah.
But I just do remember athletics where you used to do real well. The Colgate games. You know, just going way back, bro. When we were
Yeah.
late 10 years old.
Yeah.
Those days.
Well,
But,
there was the coach. Well, you know, I'll just share a bit of a testimony on that. How I got into athletics was I don't know if you fellas know Julie Rickett. Well, Julie Rickett, she used to live down the road from us. Her mum was one of the coaches for the Colgate, you know, athletics down at Ascot. And
I
so
didn't think,
she, you know, I think Julie used to say, "Oh, you got to get Rayan to come and, you know, do athletics."
yeah,
And so she come up, or she approached me. She asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, "Oh, you have to ask my parents, man." Like, you
yeah,
know. And so she went up and asked my parents and asked mum, and mum says, "Where you go?" And you know, and so and that meant a lot to me because you know I didn't think anyone really cared out there, or and
yeah,
it done something to me. I think it's really it helped me in some ways to have that person, Julie's mum, come and talk to my mum, and those are memories that sort of stick with you. And also Twane Ropati, he was
yeah,
very like he wanted to adopt my brother David. He actually
Oh,
come and asked my parents, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to adopt Dave because him and Dave were close, eh? Like Dave was
Yeah.
when he was in his class, when Dave went to Watangirua and he was in Twine's class. Twine and Dave they just
Just click.
like connected, and
Yeah.
they were just like really close. Twine always used to get him into basketball, and Dave
That's
done
right.
really. He could have went like I think really well in basketball. He probably could have made the New Zealand side, and a lot of those fellas, John Kahukiwa and those fellas, they even say, your bro, man, he
Oh yeah,
was.
that's it. That's why I remember Dave, the
Yeah, yeah,
basketballer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So but Twine was another one. He was a big influence in our lives. The other thing, bro, that's just come to me is what I used to love, Tiari,
Mm.
was the Cook Island drumming,
The
Cook
music,
Island.
eh? Yeah.
bro.
The
Uh,
pate.
when we used to go to Tairangi, and you'd be walking home and they'd be doing band practice,
Yeah, yeah,
and man, that lead drum, bro, it just done something to me. I was just drawn to it. I
Yeah.
wanted to learn that stuff, bro. I was like, fuck, I can feel it.
So
And
when
it's
you
always,
left Tairanga and you went to Waitangiroa, did you join the Poly Club?
bro, when I was going to Tairangi, I was
Yeah.
going to band practices, bro. I
Oh,
was sitting
hey.
outside
yeah. He's
there,
still at
man.
Tarangi school.
Yeah, bro, I used to sit outside because I knew Twaine,
Yeah.
so I'd sit outside, else because they used to
The
practice
assembly hall.
Because he's
by
in
their
the
door,
hallway.
in
Yeah.
the hall by the
Yeah.
door there. So I used to sit outside the door,
Sweet.
and that's when Tukere and Nā Vai and all that were in the band, and Turks grabbed me. He goes, "Hey, bro, jump on here,"
Mm.
and he
Hey.
started teaching me, eh? So
Oh, that's why when you brought the pate or the drums and that
yeah,
to our
yeah,
accommodation in the Gold Coast last year, bro, that was us, eh?
yeah, bro.
It was
This
fun.
is bringing back some
Yeah,
memories.
yeah, especially for you because you would have been sitting at home, like, hey, bring it to the accommodation, bro. We're in there. It
Like
was
you
me.
fellas know, they follow Tikere, eh? Tikere.
Yeah,
He was
surname.
Tikere. You
Ring
remember
a
him,
bell,
mate?
but I remember him, mate. He was in the band that way, eh?
He was the lead drummer, bro. He was mean. He was awesome. And
Must
that
have a
fella,
must have a nickname. Has he got a nickname? Okay.
Turks,
Turks.
hey,
Oh
Turks.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. I
yeah,
do.
bro.
Ah,
Turks, bro. He. If it wasn't for that fella, bro,
hey,
there's certain people come in your life and they just do things that resonate in your life, and it makes you, you don't forget that. You don't forget
yeah.
them,
I remember
mate.
Tix. Yes.
And also Twine was like, because Twine, I knew he was close to our family.
Hmm.
We had a different relationship. It wasn't a school teacher relationship. It
Hmm.
was more
Yeah,
like
Like
whānau.
family. Yeah.
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 And Mum says to him, when I went to intermediate, the first thing she says to him was, if that fella plays up, give him a hiding. I'll give you permission. Right? And so it was like I had to be on my behavior because Tony, he'll give me a hiding.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like,
Nah.
but Tony.
I heard he was a strict teacher. Good too.
Oh, bro, he's done a lot for a lot of
Porirua community,
yeah,
yeah.
especially through arts and
And the culture.
Even with the
culture
nursing side of things as well, he went into.
and yeah, so there's some of the good memories that that I
So after intermediate, you went to college. Did you play any sports there?
oh look, yeah, I sort of played league there, but it was just coming in. It hadn't really come into Altea.
Oh, the inter college.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just sort of, and yeah, so we didn't really have a good team either. So it was just starting off pretty much league in the schools when I was in Altea. I sort of started chasing girls by the time I got there.
Mind you, Ray, mind you, when we were like 11, 12, when we went to Waito, we were in the same band, but because Twain Robati, he had a band, Ray, and when we got to Form 2, we were in the same band, and Ray was our leader, the lead drummer there, and do you remember the guys that were with us, Ray? Yourself, Stanley Maka,
yeah, he was.
Stan.
And was it Norman Morocco?
Yeah,
Norman
was Norman.
Yeah, I think Norman Morocco.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yourself was who else? Was Longy there?
No.
Oh.
I don't think Longy made it. But there was only like 5 of us, and the female, I think it was Sonia Smith. I can't remember her last name. Maori girl. She was quite fair looking.
Yeah.
But she was in the band as well with Ray. Stanley.
So do you guys still remember your a few of the songs
number
and all
one,
that
number
jazz?
2, number 3.
Number 1, number 2.
No, yeah, we remember some. Like when Te Ho and Phil will come and stay over mine.
Yes.
We pull the gear out and we have a jam. Sometimes we go down the park and just play. It's good, just good reminiscing, eh?
Yeah. Back in the day,
put a bowl out and collect some coin.
It's kind of it's like because Ray, we had a band at Waitangiroa and then so did Brandon, so it was always Brandon had a band as well as Waitangiroa.
Yeah,
so that would have been the Upus down there with Brandon intermediate. The Upus chucking them.
Maybe, because Philo was in the band, the Brandon intermediate one day. I think he showed us a band of their, with all the boys, but I think we had a female. I don't think they had a female in there, one of the girls with them.
Who were the good dancers? Do you remember, Te
Oh, the boys.
Well,
I remember.
I focus on the girls personally. Sorry, bro.
Come on.
There was some nice looking girls, but I probably won't. You
I think Stacey Chico was really good, eh?
It
was a good, being Cook Island. It's just come natural for the
natural culture dancer, right?
Yeah, she was one that sort of, was just really good. Yeah, with the boys, what was it? Was Vai? Was he? No, he was in the band, eh?
I think that was
I remember that.
They were Form 2s when we were Form 1s already, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Because I remember Lanza Salofa being one of the good dancers.
Yeah.
Lanza?
Yeah. Lanza was pretty cool with his Cook Island dance.
And then, I remember also the youth club, up at the Morirua. We used to have the break dancing,
Oh,
You know, we
back
used to
in the
do the
days,
break dancing.
it would have been Charlie, was it?
Hey,
Not me, bro. I was no break dancer. But next door
well,
was the next door was it in that where that blue church
the
was at
youth.
the time.
that was,
That was up in
Where you had
that
mall.
little church, that little
yeah,
next
yeah.
to
Yeah,
Morirua.
see, I was next door. You guys doing breakdancing. I was next door doing
What I'm doing?
yeah,
Dude,
no,
yeah,
whanake rangatawa karate. I was next door.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I
Karate,
couldn't
yeah.
breakdance,
yeah.
bro. I was doing the
Because it used
karate.
to be Taekwondo in the Morirua, before that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Vern
So,
took over.
but I remember doing the old break dancing. We had our own group, and Ave Salofa, he was,
Oh, yes. Hey,
you know,
Salofa. No,
he was really good, and
yeah.
Do you remember the name of your group?
the break dancers. Sunday,
Breakdancers.
the break dancers.
What's it?
My mum made all the gear for us, and we actually
Hey.
went in a comp in Wellington,
Yeah.
and against the Rock City crew and all those. Remember those guys from Auckland? Those big break. These guys were like the best in New Zealand, and
Yeah.
we done all right. We done all right in that, and
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, and then my brother was involved in breakdancing. George Ultimate Dragons, what they were called?
Oh,
Ultimate
yeah,
something.
George.
Yeah,
oh,
Ultimate something. Ultimate
Dragons. There was a group
Yeah,
there.
there was
Ultimate
them.
Dragons.
There's him and I think the Witamis and all that stuff. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but not me, bro.
I think I was the hand spinner going to the
Hey.
windmill, you know.
Oh, no wonder you had a sore back last at the tournament
Yeah,
doing the windmill.
yeah. So they were the good times, I remember,
Mm.
But being brought up with a big family, we were when I was probably 4 or 5 years of age, I have memories of going because my dad was an awesome diver and free diver. We used to go down Stephen's farm when we were really young, and we had to take a backpack because you had to go down the back of the farm. Or it's quite a long walk down right down the bottom because everyone used to get all the kaimoana from where it was easy to get, but Dad would always go where it was
Go on
hard.
the hike, eh? On
Go
a
on the
hikoi.
hike.
Yeah.
So we used to park up at the top of Tite Bay
Tito
there.
Bay and go down towards the old
Yeah, that was before the sewer plant was.
yes.
They put that sewer plant there.
Yeah. So you went to Sugarloaf or whatever they call it.
Stephen's farm,
Oh, Stephen's farm back then, yeah.
Yeah, we had to walk over to his farm right down the bottom, and I was really young, and so had my oldest brother Sonny, he's adopted, and Dave, and then sometimes Dave's friend Renata will come with us. Dad will tell, Dave will bring him along, just to give us a hand to bring all the kai back, because it's a long walk up that hill.
Yeah, was there a koito back then, or it doesn't matter? Oh, I can't remember.
I don't think so, bro. But Dad was always onto it. He used to go out to the deep because Dad, where my old man comes from in Tauranga, is just surrounded by ocean.
The ocean, yeah.
So Dad was brought up to get living off the land, especially kaimoana, And so he used to go diving. He could hold his breath for forever. Sometimes I used to think he'd been drowned and he's gone. But then he'll pop up and I used to go, how does he do that?
So did he have the snorkel fins?
Yeah, just snorkel and weights and fins. And just,
no wetsuit.
Oh, yeah. He'll have a wetsuit, and when it's cold, because, being Porirua, it gets cold there.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, I remember I couldn't get back up. I couldn't walk up the hill because I was young, tired. So they'd chuck me in the backpack and have to carry me back with all the kai as well.
Wow.
Who's that dog? Who's that kuri? Yours?
Yeah, I'm going to let him out.
Oh, can't boy. Yes, all right. He's enjoying the talk out of Talanoa. He's all good. Yeah, that would have been a mean experience, man, going out with
Yeah,
Dad.
Young fella, eh?
yeah. So yeah, I was
Especially
young
doing that.
as so, and then Dad also, he's always teaching us how to live off the land. Go get pick some puha, go and get some water, Chris. He's always about if you're gonna go play, come back with a kai, hey, you know. And so they were the good things. But then there was, mum was amazing cook and amazing. She was really good with her hands, with tanaku and stuff like that, weaving, making bags out of flaxes and stuff, and tanaku Maori designs and belts and stuff like that. She was really good at all that. And I remember we ended up getting opening a fish and chip shop down Fantane. Fantane
Oh
shops.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had a fish and chip shop there. The bro Sonny used to live just down the road from there, and the Lardellis and that they live down the road. But we used to have massive lineups, bro, of
Customers.
Pacific Islanders
Aye.
all the way, because we were selling kinners.
Aye.
And the old uncle, our uncles, I won't say his name just in case. Anyway, he used to go diving across, the top of the South Island from Tite Bay, where on a clear day you could see across. Used to go over there diving for kinners or down the sounds and stuff. And he used to bring back these massive kinners, massive. And so we were selling them in the fish and chip shop.
And, in the bottles or just as the shell?
In the shell.
Oh, hey. How much were they back then?
Oh, bro, they were like maybe, I don't know, $4 or $5.
Wow.
For a massive kinner like that.
Shoo.
And all the Pacific Islanders, they loved it, man, because it was straight out of the shell, eh?
Yeah, fresh.
And then the fisheries got onto us.
Oh yeah, the meth.
The old fisheries got onto us, eh? So.
Hey, Ray, this fella knows about meth, hey, Tiara.
Oh, they're good fellas. As long as you behave, you do what you're supposed to do out there. Get the right quota, get the right size.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, nah. They come, do their checks and sweet ass.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like what ReiMana was saying with regards to selling the kinner back in the day, nah. Because it was supposed to come from a commercial way.
Yeah.
If it was commercial, it would be sweet because it'd be all recorded. But hey, oh well.
But you know what, bro? We're talking.
But I remember your first shop was always busy.
Bro, didn't have any of that back in the day.
No.
You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was like all good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's all about the future and stuff. Gotta have some, leave some for the future generation.
That's how the old man taught us anyway. He always taught us to go out a bit deeper, get the bigger ones out there, leave the small ones in the in the shallow, because they'll grow and they'll become bigger, and so he was all about that when but you get the ones that overdo it, and they take more than what they need.
So have you managed to go diving again?
I switched from all that stuff and got into surfing. Yeah, so
did you get kai when you go surfing?
Not here, bro. Not on the Gold Coast.
No. It's free surfing. Yeah, no, that's hard to get on the board. I've tried it.
Yeah. So
into that.
Yeah, I actually moved here because I gave up the footy over there, and I moved here to basically learn how to surf and just to have a brand new start. But yeah, like our upbringing, a lot of great memories. But then there was some hard memories,
as we all been through.
Yeah. So because like being brought up with a big family, Dad was known to be a hard man, and he was known. He you know, you couldn't talk. You couldn't talk crap to this fella. You know, Dad would just like, you know,
Discipline, yeah.
he used to,
Did
yeah,
talk.
he used to punch first and talk later.
Yeah.
And the thing was, we were brought up like that. So, um, you know, on the outside, our family looked like we've got the nice house, the nice car, but then you've got, on the
Stuff going on,
inside,
so yeah.
you know, it's totally different scene, you know. So, so my upbringing, like, I was a very angry kid. Used to fight a lot, and Tahoe knows about this. I used to fight a lot. Used to get in a lot of trouble. I was because of what was going on inside, you know, um, and um, and I, you don't realize till you get to our age now, you know, there's there's generations of dysfunctional or curses or baggage that
Mm,
our parents and their parents and their parents going back generations
mm,
have, you know they've got all these dysfunctions or violence, all
or
these things that they do, or the way they've been brought up,
yeah,
and then those things end up all coming onto the next
next
generation,
generation, right?
and then you've got to recognize these things and then try and deal with them. And that's been a challenge, man. uh
Mm, mm,
and it's out throughout especially my younger days, like there was it was hard trying to just work out what was going on. And I probably had a lot of trauma from 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 my upbringing.
Yeah.
A lot of trauma from seeing, a lot of violence, especially with my siblings, my mum,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm there.
and domestic violence in your house and stuff,
Yeah.
at a young age.
Yeah.
So, I've, yeah, it's been pretty, you know, sh- trying to deal with that stuff throughout life, and
mm,
and
mm.
and um, and so still working on that stuff even till today, you know.
Yeah, especially yeah, all that trauma that you mentioned, and the first time we met last year in October, you mentioned what you were just saying to me, and I was like, okay, yeah, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of learnings,
Yeah.
and obviously you're working your way through. You're still working,
yeah,
yeah, how to probably stop that um, the traumas from way back through the
yeah,
generations. So and it does happen. I mean, it happens everywhere. I've
yeah,
seen it. I've experienced it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of like how you're now sharing that journey.
Learning.
Mm,
yeah,
Learnings. Because those days, Ray, and Tiare, our parents, pretty much, there's sometimes there were bad days, with our parents, because my parents, they argued, and dad was drunk, you know
mm,
yeah,
had a fight with mum, and then because we were quite young, right? Because it's a similar story.
yeah,
I don't know if mum was, yeah, but it was kind of gruesome sights that we saw when we were younger. It's trauma that
yeah,
what we've grown up with, and
mm,
that sort of wasn't, they talk about the once warriors thing,
yeah,
all that partying and that our parents that used to do those days.
mm,
Uh, yeah, I can relate to you anyway, Ray, with that kind of stuff, because that stuff was messy, and some of that stuff is still blocked out of my, I can't
yeah,
remember because it was
yeah,
just too, you know, all the
like,
fighting and that, especially when you see your mum get beaten up and just that kind of stuff.
yeah,
All the fighting and the yelling our parents used to do, my dad used to do, and not
yeah,
only one, other families as well. So We
Yeah.
were, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I still can relate to that, right?
Yeah.
And there are groups out there now that help with that. Like there's men's groups, there's safe men, safe families.
Yeah.
We attended a hui last year, myself, Tahu, and another one of the bros.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you pretty much left home, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I ran away from home like quite a few times. I ran away quite young,
Oh,
and yeah, just wanted to get away from that verbal abuse and violence and all that. But I'm not saying like I wouldn't change anything. Like I think
Yeah.
we go through those things for a reason, and because it either condition you and make you stronger to do, to be able to handle situations that you get put in, but to deal with them in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And to learn from those things and make sure that those things don't come through your generation. So I refer to them as generational curses because Dad used to get really drunk and come home. And on a Friday, I used to go to bed early because
you don't want to
I was,
hear, see, yeah,
I used to try and go to bed early and try and go to sleep because I knew, you know, he's going to come home and lose it. And but then there was times he'll come home drunk and he'll sit me down and then he'll be in tears sharing about how he used to get bashed, from because he was whāngai, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
Being whāngai, you know, it's almost like an abandonment. And for boys, uh, not being brought up with their dad, that's another type of issues, right? And my brother Willie, he was my half brother. We were introduced. I don't know if you fellas know Willie
Yeah.
Tahu. He
Stay on
Diamond.
your street, eh?
Our uncle Diamond used to have the
oh,
snooker table in Waitangiroa.
Yeah.
You know, oh,
And Wahima Street, eh?
yeah, mate, yeah,
Yeah, my older brothers and they used to go play pool
yeah.
at
Go play pool there.
Diamonds.
Yeah,
They used to call Diamond. Uncle, he was
yeah.
like an uncle to everyone.
was he bus driver? Diamond, Uncle Diamond. Or was that a different
I'm
one?
not sure, but he was like a leader to everyone. He was kind of like that role model
Yeah,
to everyone.
yeah.
I heard from my brother-in-laws and through
And Queenie, Queenie, Diamond and
they love
Queenie.
me.
Oh yes, sorry, I do
Yeah.
recall. Yep.
Did they stay across the road from the Salofas, Te Ao?
Yeah, across the road, but come further down.
Further down.
Other
Yeah,
than the top end of Arahura, up that way, eh?
Wahima Street.
Oh yes, yep. No, I
Yeah,
recall that.
yeah,
Hey, I have a question, ReiMana.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on obviously what you've spoken is like breaking that cycle? Well, how that cycle of that previous generation?
So first of all, how I had to deal with that stuff was I actually drowned in the surf, bro.
Mm.
And I drowned in the surf. Like I lost. I love surfing, but I couldn't swim. I was never a strong swimmer, and I went out for a surf in Burley Heads, and it was pretty solid. The waves were solid. I lost my board, and then I panicked trying to come in. I could because I was in a rip. I couldn't get in,
Oh yes.
and I panicked, and then that was it. As soon as fear comes in, it's like putting weights on your feet. You just go,
Yeah.
you just can't float. And so I'm standing on the bottom of the ocean, looking up,
Looking. Oh.
and just going, waiting, and then pushing up. And then as I pop out of the water, I'd yell out, "Help!" and then go back down, and then stand there, and then done that until I couldn't do that anymore. And then I ended up I just remember going, Lord, in my head, Lord, if this is it, take me. And then I just stopped fighting it. I just gave up fighting. And it was like this beam of light just was come down on me, and it was just like he's coming down to take me. And I blacked out. And then I just remember this light. I just wanted to go towards it, and I just was reaching out towards it, and it was like the Lord come down and just grabbed me like this and was taking me up. And as I was going up, the most amazing thing I'll never forget was I could feel His presence. I could feel the presence of Him, and it was just I just didn't want to leave Him. I just wanted to stay with Him. And I must have popped out of the water. Someone got to me and pulled me up, and they took me in and brought me back. And I just remember when I come back to it, I just says, I don't want to be here. I want to stay with Him.
Yeah.
So I believe I had an encounter with the Lord, because I just stopped fighting, because fear, it seemed to be a blockage between you and, it's a spirit of fear. It seems to put you in some sort of a bondage, or it's like a chain. And it's not till you actually, just
Relax.
let it go.
Let it go.
Just let it go. And then all of a sudden, man, it was like it opened up heaven, and God just come down and grabbed me. And and that was my turning point there, when I had that encounter with Him. That told me, man, God must be real, because I didn't even I didn't even call out because I couldn't speak. I was underwater, but I was saying in my head, Lord, if this is it, take me. That was the first thing that come to my head. So where did that come from? Well, you know what? When I was young, I remember dad used to beat up mum, and if he done it bad, mum rang the cops on him, put him in jail, and he went to jail a couple of times. The second time he went, he come out, and I used to go in his drawers, because mum used to work at Whitaker's chocolate, right?
Okay. Yes.
I used to always look for the peanut slabs, bro, and the Santi bars. Go looking for them. And I go in his drawer, and I found this book, and it says a black book. It says Bible on it. I was like, where did this come from? And so Dad must have been reading it when he was in jail the second time, because I noticed it in his drawer. So that's weird. But when I picked it up, some reason it just like, whoa, I had to put it back down. I could feel something.
Wow.
And you know what? The next time I seen that book, bro, when I went to court, they made me put my hand on it. Nothing but the truth. Help me, God. Bro, when I put my hand on that book, I was convicted before I even had a chance to But that's how I got to know the Bible, like through those encounters, right?
Wow.
And then obviously, but I know that my both my grandmothers on mum and dad's side, they both were, believers. They loved the Lord. They prayed a lot.
Yeah.
And so you just don't know how much their prayers, and how powerful their prayers are, right? Your grandmothers, bro. Your mothers, right?
Mums,
So I believe, these were just encounters, probably from their prayers, right? Praying for their mukapunas, praying for their children, praying for their next generation, and I know that now, because I do that now. We
Yeah.
do that. Te Ao and I, we do that. We pray for our children.
Oh,
We pray for our mokupunas. We pray for generations,
Yeah.
you know, to break the curse, these generational curses off of them so they don't
Awesome. Yeah.
have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sort of was my turning point. And then from, like, I didn't do well at school, guys. I actually got kicked out of Altea. I didn't know how to read well. So, but I got so drawn to this Bible, it taught me how to read. I spent I spent five I spent about 3 years it took me to read that Bible. 3 years, bro.
No, from the
Just
first page.
every night, just reading whatever I could
Yeah.
every night. Just whatever. Just kept asking, Lord, just open my eyes, show me, how to teach me how to read your word, give me revelation, knowledge, give me understanding. Like, honestly, I can't read. You got to show me. But he showed it to me like whakapapa, right?
Wow. Yeah.
That's how he showed me. He said, basically, this is whakapapa on the Israelite people and all the, you know, um, all the Israelite, all the, the Arabs. It's
Yeah.
all the whakapapa on them, right?
Yeah.
And he says, and he sort of showed me how to connect to it like whakapapa. So that made it a lot easier for me to understand it then.
That also led you to where you're at today with regards to your mahi, I believe now.
Yep.
Yeah, as a
Well, it's-
carpenter, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
See?
that's dad.
That's from
Dad
the Bible as a carpenter.
Well, dad was a carpenter.
Yeah,
My dad.
I remember working with your dad. I did my
Yeah.
apprenticeship. It was actually Fletcher's,
Oh yeah.
and we were
Yeah. He worked for
doing.
Fletcher's.
Yeah, and I remember him. I was like, "Oh, that's that guy."
Yeah.
So I was just coming
Oh,
through.
bro,
Yeah.
I tell you, he was awesome chippy, bro. Awesome
Mm.
chippy. Like a lot of he never done his ticket, but
Yeah.
all the fellas that were qualified used to come and ask him how to do it. You know,
Jeez.
Knowledge. Eh?
'Cause he's old school.
Yeah.
Old
That's
school,
right.
man. They don't need a ticket, those fellas, and they do everything.
Yeah. From the
And
ground
so
to the roof.
it was funny because I brought Dad over here for a holiday, to our place
Wait.
here, and
Oh, Dad.
yeah, I brought him over, and I renovated our place here, and I showed him around. Says, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Did you do all this, boy?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Did you?" And I said, "Yeah, I done all this." And he goes, "Far, all those years I thought you weren't listening."
What Dad said, bro. Oh man, Ray, shout out to you, bro. I mean, Charlie, I don't know if you know this, but shout out to the old man Hardy, because Dad is no longer with us too, and Mum.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray. So
Yeah.
shout out, bro. It's it's awesome to hear what this is what it's about, bro. Eh? The journey with yourself, and it's good that you got those memories of Dad
Yeah.
saying that to you.
Oh, look, I
thought he was going to say, Did you really do this?" And I think he was going to say, "Oh man, that's cowboy."
Oh,
I remember him talking about was it sugar bags or something. You had these bloody apprentices, sugar bags, and all this stuff. Cowboys. Oh man.
true.
So
We did the courthouse. I think we did the courthouse in Porirua.
well,
He was there.
the church there, Waitangitua Moor, Te Ao, I showed you.
Yeah. That church down from
Yeah.
on the
What's
was
that
it
street?
come down from the mall
That's your, that's your old street.
Yeah.
What's
No.
that
I'm on Wahimo. That's
Oh.
Lungana, that street. That's
Oh,
Lungana. Yeah, that's what your dad, you and your dad built that.
Yeah, we built that. We built that. It wasn't marae at first. It was for Mum's whānau, the rerekuras. They Jerry Rerekura, and they got some funding to build that. It was a marae at first,
Yeah.
and and Dad and I, Dad went and he had a bit involved with that, and I give him a hand in that. But yeah, that was that one. But yeah, from what I was sharing about that encounter,
Yeah.
Yes.
that helped me, uh, you know, s- understand the issues, the generational curses, and all those things that were going on, in in a spiritual, like in a spiritual way, to be able to deal with them. And because a lot of those things, if they go way back, there's a lot of spiritual force in them that can, become strongholds.
Mm.
And so some of those things need to be broken.
Yeah.
Their spirits that need to be broken,
Mm,
because our people dabbled a lot in black magic back in
Yeah.
way back, our chiefs and
mm,
all that. So
mm.
that's what I'm talking about, generational curses.
Right. Yeah.
And so there was a lot of stuff that had to be broken, spiritually broken, to be able to, you know, set me free, to be able to, then to be able to start to understand what they were, and then work on how to, to work on yourself, and, to renew your mindset, and to operate, to function every day as
Mm.
we
Mm,
do.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
And that's still going on today, boys.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
Doesn't stop,
Yeah.
man.
What an experience to go through,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mate.
but yeah, but it's just different stuff now I work on, more so for, I work on stuff to help, you know build the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of businesses. I study a lot in business now,
Yeah.
to evolve, and to, to get in alignment. I've learned how to invest in me now, in my well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, and education, and because the question is, it's basically, I says, what do I want? What do I want in life?
Yeah.
Mm,
What do I want to leave behind for my family?
Yeah.
What sort of a legacy do I want to leave behind? And it's good to ask those questions sometimes. And then you got to, okay, how do I get in alignment with that? Once you know what you want, then you got to get in alignment with that, and then make make the different moves to be able to make those things happen. And then obligation comes with that, um, and
sure.
so they're the things that are in the last, probably, ever since
A few years.
2019, uh, been working on things like that.
Yeah.
Like self
Great.
development,
Yeah,
even showing that commitment, you
yeah,
know, and then
Well,
getting support from your immediate family for you to continue on with your, um, I guess, what you have to achieve. Yeah,
yeah.
I can see where you coming from.
Well,
Yeah.
Ray, tell us, sorry, bro, to jump in there. Ray, tell us the times with, when we caught up, um, you know, back in 2020 as well, but you were also doing stuff for the community, like, for example, remember that lady that you got like a big working bee, like the community, and then we
oh,
helped that lady that was, well, she was a widow or something. Do you
yeah,
remember that?
yeah. You,
And you
he
got
come
all
out
of
and
us.
helped, didn't he?
Yeah, you just called me up and I come down. He
Yeah,
involved like the community, bro. They all
yeah.
Gold Coast. They all come. This lady, this widow lady that lost her husband, and
Mm.
she. Can you tell us a bit about that, bro? Because
Yeah,
you came
so
down.
so there's a Kiwi fellow I know. He's a lawyer, and we're good friends. And he works a lot with the community, and so he gets people like, like who Te Hau's talking about. This widow, she was a hoarder. She
Mm.
you know she was
Mm.
she's a hoarder, and this is next level
It's
hoarder,
next level, Tiare.
man.
Next
Oh,
level.
You watch those programs of
Yes, I've
hoarders?
seen them. Yep,
This
yep.
thing's next level
He's
hoarder.
next
So
level,
you're
bro.
walking on top of everything.
And
Exactly.
anyway, her house was getting eaten by termites,
Right.
and it was getting quite dangerous. The thing was ready to collapse on her, and so my friend rang me up, and he says, "Bro, I need you to go, and if you can, just go and have a look at this place because it's not safe. It's full of termites. Just sort of let me know what we can do." And so I went around there, had a look, and it was bad. It was like the deck was ready to fall over, 2-story.
All right. So
You
the
could hear them.
frames.
You could hear them in the walls eating the
Hey.
walls upstairs.
Mm.
Yeah, it was bad.
It
And
was
I just basically says to her, "Listen, we're going to have to pull this deck down." But she had stuff everywhere, man.
everywhere, bro.
Like, and there was no way I I could even do this, even with just my workers. So I reached out to Te Hau, as many people as I knew. My fellows from our church, that local church here in Kingscliff. And then we just got together and I just organized some big bins.
Yeah.
And we just went, and then I organized the gills, bro.
True. Skills as well.
Because the girls had to sort out all the boxes of. She had clothes, man. She collected clothes, right?
Yeah.
From around the world. She just loved clothes. So she had boxes. Every room you walked in was full of boxes to the roof.
Yeah, bro.
And so I had to get all the stuff out into two containers.
Okay.
To be able to fix her house.
Yeah.
Before it fell down.
So not only the deck, but you probably like the wall, the frames. Did you have to rip open the jib and all that stuff too? Did you have a look?
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Replace.
Every time we went to move a box, she'd grab it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything. She was just, and this is what I'm talking about. This is like a addiction, right?
Yeah.
She's in bondage to clutter, like next level
Next
clutter.
level, Charlie. Honestly, bro.
And so every time we try to do something, she'll
step in.
"What are you doing?" She'd jump in the bin and start trying to pull stuff out.
Yeah,
and
these were huge bins, man. Huge.
I rang my mate, the lawyer mate, and I said, "Bro, we need to send this girl to New Zealand for a holiday.
Sweet.
We can't get anything done here, and you need to send her for about 3 weeks." Because that's how long it's going to take to get all the stuff out of your house.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yep.
We done a weekend just cleaning up her yard and done the best we could. I made it as safe as I could.
Yeah.
And then I just left it to my mate to organize to try and get her away so we could get in and
get in there and do it.
Yeah.
Did do some renos on that too?
No, I didn't end up doing that because she was just one of those. She had massive problems that wouldn't allow anyone to touch anything or move anything. So it just didn't end up happening. But
we cleaned the property up though, eh, bro?
Yeah.
As best we could. The property was massive, bro. It was just
So
we did what we did, eh?
So that's all that stuff stems from that encounter I had.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that you know what that encounter taught me, bro? And I'll tell you the truth, man. Like what that taught me, his love for us, God's love for mankind, right? He loves us so much that he just wants us to learn to let him love us. That's all he wants, is us just to learn how to let him love us. And once we've learned that, then he just wants you to learn how to love him. And that's it. And the more you get to know how to love him, you find yourself loving people. And that's the gospel, brothers.
Each other.
Love your neighbor.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, you and Taho were in the same ministry when he was in, when you were in Osbo? We
Yeah.
the same
Tell,
ministries, huh?
yeah. Tell us a bit about that ministry, bro. That came from. Well, that actually it's a long story, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This it sort of goes back. It's going over nearly
So
5
Harry,
years now.
so
Mm,
how we connected together, Te Hau reached out to me when Harry Whitehall passed away.
Oh,
mm,
yes,
mm.
yes.
And so so Te Hau got all the boys together that played under Harry.
Mm.
And that was for St. George, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
And so I was just like, far out. Who's
yeah,
this? And
yeah,
anyway, I answered it and was Te Hau, and I said, bro, it's been over 30 years.
yeah, 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 bro.
And
It was.
and he goes, bro,
Yeah,
I just wanted to get you on a call with the brothers, and and I said, oh yeah, all good, to pay our respects to Harry.
yeah,
And so we jumped on this call, and then there was heaps of us on
there's
this
heaps of us.
call,
Yeah,
and then out of the thing, Teo says to me, bro, I hold offences against you,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
from when we were young fellas. And I
yeah,
says, oh, bro, I'm
yeah,
sorry, bro. Please forgive me. I says,
yeah,
oh, and then we just repented,
yeah,
just from
bro, yeah.
holding offences.
Mm,
And then I apologized because, I've hurt some people, bro, back
yeah,
when we were young. But, you don't know at that time,
Yeah, yeah.
because of, whatever circumstances we go through. But yeah, we hurt people and we don't realize how much, damage we've done. But it's just awesome how we can come back and then we can just you know,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
We
you know,
reconnected
reconnect
from
and,
there.
and, and forgive one another
Yeah,
and then build that relationship, start a new relationship.
yeah,
And so that was in 2028.
yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
Mm.
exactly.
and and so that was powerful, bro. Because we're
Yeah,
on a call with heaps of people.
all the
Oh, and
boys.
it
Yeah,
happened all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
bro.
the
And,
boys.
and then everyone just went quiet.
They
They were
didn't
just
want to. They
listening
wanted
to
to
us.
follow. They didn't want to talk. They just wanted to listen
Yeah.
to
Don't
our.
want to listen.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
asking me, bro, forgive me. Yeah,
So
bro.
Yeah.
I reconnected with Teho and said, bro, I
Yeah,
just believe we should pray for these brothers.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then we just started, him and I, just Teho and I would just catch up
Mm,
on a
catch
Sunday
up. Mm,
or whatever,
Mm.
yeah,
whatever day, and we just pray for all the brothers.
yeah, yeah. We
Bro,
had.
everyone from Porirua, we just started lifting them up and praying
Yeah,
for them,
yeah,
because
yeah. That's
that's
right.
that's God's love. That's the love I'm talking about, that
Yeah,
He wants us to learn how to love Him.
yeah,
Well, that's the love that's coming from Him as you love Him. You start to pray for people that you thought may be your enemies.
yeah,
Yes.
You
yeah,
know, you
yeah.
start praying for people that
Mm.
you know whoever come to our minds, and
Yeah.
Teho knows everyone.
Oh,
He's
but
saying names. I'm like, bro, I know that fella, bro. Do I know that fella? Because you know
Yeah.
that fella, bro. You
That
remember?
name, that name's familiar.
I tell you what, he's helped me reconnect to my to the past.
mm,
He's reconnecting me to all those brothers,
all the
and
brothers
and
and all the
and
boys.
and,
Mm,
and because I've been away so long, bro.
yeah,
And so I'm very thankful to have Te back in my life, and
oh,
Mm.
thanks.
Philo,
Me too,
Yeah,
bro.
um,
yeah.
And Philo,
Pete, fella Pete,
Yeah,
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 Peter, hey, you're over there. We were
yeah,
caught up, Peter.
Pete's,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Neil.
bro. Neil,
Neil,
Lux,
Neil Jackson, Nuku,
Lucky Baker,
Tanuku, and the brothers,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He
yeah,
was there.
and
Tanuku,
even my cousin Danelle, he's just over in Kingy here, Danelle Wanera,
Ray Yoda.
Pere, those fellas.
Mm,
Hey,
yeah. So
yeah,
that when this sort of happened to each other, like when Harry passed away, all of us sort of, felt it, because he was kind of that connection, or Harry,
yeah,
just like Tamatua, to like all these old names,
yeah,
but Harry had a connection with all of us, and
yeah,
we sort of just, all the boys just jump on board, and that's how we connected with me and Ray, and
Mm.
me and ReiMana, and also all the boys that played under Harry, like guys like Nigel Taylor, was it Machu Tupai, the boys.
All,
Joe?
all these fellas coming on to
they all
this
came on.
podcast. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them,
A lot of them, yeah.
including yourself, bro.
Yeah.
We've been praying for you, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Johnny's on there too. Johnny Toach.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just come on board with us on BST.
BST?
Yeah.
Oh,
On our Talanoa now, yeah, Johnny.
oh, true.
Yeah,
True.
man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. So that was in 2020, and then fast forward, we like the Lord gave me a vision for, our kaupapa, and I showed Te Hau, I said, bro, this, I believe this is the Lord's given us this vision, So I showed him it, and it was like, there's stuff in there like building orphanages around the world, feeding the hungry worldwide,
This fellow's doing it anyway.
in mass, and doing, just being the hands and feet of Jesus, basically. Just random acts of kindness, whatever the God puts on your heart, whoever He leads you to, just love them.
so, bro, ReiMana, so I understand you support an orphanage in India. Is that correct, or an orphanage? Yeah.
Well, in that vision, you'll see
Yeah.
we put it, building orphanages worldwide, and so we were connected to a pastor in India, in Andhra Pradesh, which is in the south of India, in a little village called Meru. And I love that because it almost sounds like Maori and Cook Island, Meru Teru. Hey, so I was like, oh, anyway, as we built this relationship with this pastor and we got to know him and his family, God just opened doors over there. And with any vision, you really need people, like-minded people, to be able to, bring that vision to pass, right? And so by then, Te Hau Philo had jumped on, into the prayer group. And then we had Jenny Matheson jump on, and then my best mate George in Melbourne jumped on, and so we just kept turning up, praying for this pastor because he was doing some amazing stuff in India. Like I remember we rang up one, like he rang us one, or maybe I called him on a FaceTime call, and there was a real, guy in his 80s living on the street. The pastor was changing his pants because this is through COVID. And he couldn't move to go to the toilet, and so he had pooed himself, and and he'd been in it for like maybe a week,
on the side of the road,
in a little just a tarp, over on the side of the road, over with a tarp. And I remember calling him, and this pastor, his name is Pastor Rao. So Srinivasa Rao is his name. And so, I'm like, hey, Pastor Rao, and he goes, oh, brother, please pray for this old, my old mate, my old friend here. And I says, what are you doing? And he goes, I need to change his pants. I just went and got new clothes for him, new bedding for him because he's not well. He's sleeping in all his, and so he was changing him and washing him, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just going, look at this guy, man. I says, wow. It just smashed me, bro. And that's what I knew it was this guy. We were gonna do some stuff with him.
Yeah.
And then that's when some opportunities come up with some land. We were able to acquire that land over there, and then we just, by prayer, man, we just prayed, Lord, we just believe in your provision to make this happen. Like, and we ended up building an orphanage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
And
scratch.
we got about 11 children in there now. But you build an orphanage and you think that's it.
Mhm.
But that's just the start, bro.
That's that. Yeah.
Because then you got to take care of those children, and
Feed
got
them,
to feed
everything.
them.
Yeah.
They're whānau. That's
Yeah.
our whānau. So and then we were able to acquire another block of land there, and we started the foundations on a second orphanage. And I just want to, shout out to Te Hau, Pete, my fellow, my good
George.
mate, my best mate George over in Melbourne. He's a Greek brother.
Yeah.
Greek, he's a Greek brother, but George, he's been amazing, bro. And without these fellas, bro, all this
Yeah.
it wouldn't happen, bro.
Mm.
So,
It's amazing.
but without God, definitely wouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
it's through all that time we spent in the closet in the prayer room together, which brought all this to pass. And so I just give him all the glory,
Amen.
and I thank these brothers for coming together on this vision
Mm.
and making it happen.
Yeah. It's called Risen Ministry.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that so in depth and how just you guys with your prayers brought this to through to fruition. So, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, bro.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is amazing, man.
And sharing your that episode, what you encountered. That encounter. Is that what you say? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
The encounter, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. So
I wanna do a documentary or something on it one day, eh?
you'll be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The man above will show you the way.
he'll
Yeah.
show you.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
But
encounter.
I've actually worked on the movies and that.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually done some low budget movies, and
Hey,
Yeah.
that's another
that's
another
Another
story.
story.
that was another story. That was the past.
Yeah.
Well, you're a stuntman. Were you a stuntman?
No, actually, I started off as a standing in for
Yeah,
actors, right?
yeah, yeah.
And they'll do a lighting check, camera check on you before they bring the actor out. So
Hmm.
I just started off doing that, but then I got to know the actors, and then
Yeah.
it become a personal assistant,
Wow.
and then and then it's sort of
Oh, like a bodyguard.
Oh no, just looking after them,
Oh,
right?
looking after them. Yeah,
So
like a
so
minder.
yeah, so Pitch Black was one I worked on, and looked after fellas like that, Vin Diesel and
Yeah.
Cole Hauser. Cole Hauser, he's on one of those what's that new cowboy one out at the moment? It's a series.
Wow.
Um,
Like watch
Yellow
movies.
Yellowstone. Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. I've heard of Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
the main one of the main actors on that's Cole Hauser. He's married to the young girl that the main actress. There's what's his name? What's the old fella, the main actor on it? Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey, and you still
that's
keep in touch
another
with them?
story.
They keep in touch with you?
Nah, bro.
Nah.
That was back in '98.
Oh,
Man.
well, yeah.
That was back in '98. That was.
20
But
odd, 20 plus 25, 27 years.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That was before Vin was become big.
Yeah.
He just finished Saving Private Ryan. He just finished that and
yes.
come over here and shot Pitch Black. And that's a while back. But yeah, so with what with the ministry, that's obligation, right? When I was talking about obligation, that's that's obligation. It's comes under that sort of, and so I've been learning a lot about business to be able to scale, to do more stuff like that, to do more obligation.
So
worldwide.
what sort of like in business? Because business is a variety of
Yeah.
avenues in there.
So acquisitions and
Oh,
mergers.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So acquiring businesses, and not just one business, because one business is too much risk.
Mm.
So acquiring multiple businesses and then scaling them. Um, yeah. So create, but not working in the business, having it under management and understaffed. That's the
So,
key in business. I've learned that that's the key. For years, I've worked in my business
yes.
on the tools,
Yeah.
and even though you do some amazing work, and I love it. I love seeing the end result.
Mm.
Um, but at the end of the day, to scale and to grow, you've got to get off the tools, and you've got to learn skills to be able to
Mm.
work on the business to scale it. And so the last couple of years, I've been learning that sort of stuff, and I'm driven because of what the obligation part, what we do, you know, by giving and helping.
Mm. So you've acquired a number of businesses now. Like you started obviously with one, your
Yep,
own, and
yep,
then you've acquired many others now to keep that growing, is it?
yep.
Or your portfolio?
That's
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
That's what I'm up to now. So
yeah.
we've just launched Cora Enterprises, and that's we're importing modular housing because through inflation, especially here in Australia and New Zealand, all
Mm,
around the world, it's the prices of homes have gone through the roof, and
mm,
especially building materials have gone through the roof. Um, so, finding ways to make it affordable and also sustainable. Yeah. So we've just launched Core Enterprises, and yeah, we've got some great prospects in the pipeline.
mm. And that's both here, Australia, New Zealand, and maybe the Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. We're doing some stuff in the Pacific right now, New A.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're sending those fold up places over there at the moment. We've got about, I think, 5 of them going out soon.
All right.
And then, yeah, we've got some stuff going on, and, we're quoting up some stuff in Christchurch. There's a lot of development going on over there. And, yeah,
Did some
bro,
stuff
we've got,
for Fiji as well. Wait.
yeah, we've got some great opportunities, Fiji, and
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah. I must admit, I have seen your the latest. Was it Cora?
yeah,
Your
cool.
and we had your the plans of the homes on there, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I've seen some of the final. How much is that, brother? Hey. Yeah. So no,
Yeah,
it's great. So yeah.
yeah, I'm learning how to the marketing side of things and how to
Mm,
scale that, and also automating it. The technology today now, man, it's just, yeah, it's full
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But if we don't move with the times, we're going to definitely get left behind, right?
Mm.
But yeah, I'm just giving it a go, boys.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Giving it a go,
Oh,
because
that's good.
I really believe that we're probably going to come. There's going to be a massive famine in the world, and so if we can do our small part to be able to help people, if and when that happens,
Mm.
um, that's going to be all glory to the Lord again,
Mm.
and yeah, so we're just, that's what drives me to do these things.
All right.
All right. Wow.
That's amazing how from growing as a little kid from Porirua through those stages, and I'm just reflecting back to what you've
Yep.
said earlier in this episode to
Yeah,
where you're now, you know?
yeah. There's a lot more in between. We've just
Yeah, yeah.
fast tracked it.
But
Yeah.
fast tracked it, but
Fast.
see how much you've grown since then. And
Uh,
how it's just starting to pan out. Yeah,
Well, still growing, still evolving.
always
Hey,
learning, and always learning.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing for me was being teachable, eh?
All right.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, more like that, eh?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can be stubborn and say, no, I know my way.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I was the stubbornness, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, um, well, hey, bro. Is there any encouragement or any
Well, you know
I
what?
guess
I just want to say, guys,
yeah,
forgive me, man, but I gotta didn't share about my whānau, right? So
yeah,
Oh,
I've
yes.
got two boys, Trent, Tiari. They're my sons to my ex, who's from Kawerau or Torere down the coast, east coast here. So they're my two sons. And then I got my two daughters who were born in Australia here to my Australian wife,
Mm.
uh, my wife Michelle, and I got three muckles, and both my sons. My youngest son's got one boy, and my oldest son's got two boys. And my oldest son's got Aboriginal wahine, so my two muckles
Indigenous, eh?
half Aboriginal, half Maori.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So your younger son's named Tiare.
Tiari, yeah.
So where'd you get Tiare from?
Or Charlie,
Yeah,
Charlie.
Charlie and Māori, eh?
Yeah. So
Yeah, me.
he's his grandfather. His name was Charlie, and we named him after his grandfather. And you know what? He's really like him, eh, bro? Just the humblest kid, man.
all right,
Like I'm so blessed with with all my kids, but
Yeah.
my son, bro, he's just like his grandfather was a minister, a Maori minister, and he
Oh,
was big fella, and just the most humblest man I've ever met. You know, Maori minister, and that's his mum's dad. You know,
all
so but we named him after him, and he's turned out just like him.
Mm. And
Humble,
your mokos, what do they call you? Papa, Koko, Koro,
koro.
Koro.
cool.
Yeah, koro.
Koro who? Just Koro.
Just koro.
And what's your youngest, the youngest moko? How old's the youngest?
The youngest muko, he's like 3.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
My
sorry,
granddaughter's 3.
Mahia. He'll be nah, he's only like 2. Sorry, 2.
Mm.
Yeah,
Jeez, so far.
yeah. And
And
then
they all, everyone's still in Australia, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're in
all here.
Australia.
I brought my boys over and put them through high school here.
Mm.
They were living in Kawerau at the time. That's where when I was with their mum, I moved from Porirua. I met their mum in the 1860s in Wellington.
1860.
You remember that place?
Yeah, I'm just trying to
1860.
remember where. Up
It's that is to
in,
do his dance moves.
Oh, is it on the quay? Is it along the?
down the dungeon, no?
No, you can upstairs.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
go
okay. I
down
remember
or up.
1860. Yeah.
Upstairs.
That's
Yeah.
where Te Hau used to hang out.
It backed onto the terrace, eh?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
okay.
met their
That's
mum
cool.
there. I was
Far,
I was I was I was drinking in there when I was 17, bro.
far.
17.
No.
I met their mum was 21. I met her. She goes, "How old are you?" I says, "I'm 21." Hey, hey. And, and I was with her for about 9 years. We had the two boys, obviously, and then
Far.
bro, I met it. I was too young,
Mm.
too young, and just yeah. So
Oh,
we were in Kawerau. When we split up, I moved to Whakatane. I played league up there for Tarawera Raiders and that, and played against all those East Coast, Ruatoki, Ruatahuna,
Yeah.
all these fellas, bro. I tell you, they coming straight out of the bush, bro, to play league.
Rastafari, eh? Rastafari.
Oh, bro, I tell you, man, that the Māori tongue up there in the reel,
Yeah.
strong, bro. Oh, it was awesome, eh? When we go out there to play them, they'll be moving the sheep off the paddock, you know,
just before the game.
just before the game,
They're
bro.
cutting the paddock down for you.
Yeah, bro.
Building the grass.
Yeah, and you know, all the kids speaking fluent Maori, bro, fluent. They're coming up to you speaking Maori, and you're like, hey. So yeah,
Good on you, bro. Yeah. I think I met. I'm not sure who I met back in October. One of your boys. You brought him along. I think on the last day or the last evening there. Can't remember. Tall guy. It was a tall fella.
Yeah, his sons are tall. Hey,
Yeah,
Charlie
I know
and,
which one it was.
Oldest.
You
Was
brought
it
him along.
Trent? Might have been Trent.
Oh yes,
Trent.
it
Yeah.
was. Was he building? Is he building too?
Yeah.
It was Trent. He was doing some work for you, I think, somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And he was in town.
That's my oldest son.
Yeah.
He's more like me, you know.
Yeah.
They're all like, you know, they all got traits of you, eh? You know, but Trent, you know, he's just like, you know,
like the father.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Well, you know, any advice you could give to our brothers, you know, and sisters that are listening, right, for for yourself and looking after ourselves, you know, at this age, 50 plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you know what? You know, number one, put God in your life, man.
That's it.
You know, put him first, bro, in everything. You know, and you know, it doesn't, you know, people think you got to get baptized, you got to do all these ritual things and that. And you know what, bro? You know, I just want to share about the thief on the cross when Jesus was going to the cross, right? When they're about to sacrifice him, right? And there was a thief there, and he says, you know, Lord, what do I do to, you know, be with you? You know, and he says, you know, because you believe in me, surely you'll meet me in paradise. You'll be meeting me in paradise. And so, you know, he didn't have to get baptized. He was a thief. You know what I mean? He was getting crucified because he was, you know, he was a sinner. He done wrong, and that was his you know, punishment. Yeah. With Jesus, he had no sin. He had no sin on him. And you know what I mean? And so, and he was getting punished for all of our sins. So I you know, and that speaks loads to me because I'm pretty, like, I like things to just be straight down the line. I don't like to go around in circles, right? Or, you know, and so put God first in your life. Just give it a go. Give it a go and see what happens. And second thing, your family, you know, look after your family. Make sure you take care of them. And the biggest thing with family is watch what comes out of your mouth, because those things that come out of your mouth have power. You know, my parents used to call me dummy, all these things, all these names, stuff I wouldn't even mention to you fellas, but you know, that stuff has effect on your children.
Yeah.
If you speak, because your tongue is powerful, you know. So that's your family. Watch what you say around your children and speak life over them.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is look after your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. Invest in you, because you're the one that's got to take care of the family. So you got to invest in yourself so that you can operate in stability with a stable, you know, being stable, right? There's unstable and there's stable. So you want to try, and that's what I work on every day. You know, I work on it every day to make sure that I'm not going into instability. I want to stay stable. Then I can operate in, when I go into business meetings and doing deals, I can go in there with in the right mindset. You know, and then what I see by faith, you know, or what I speak out, I know it's going to come to pass because I've done all those other things to be able to make see that happen. And so yeah, that's. I hope that helps anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I mean, yeah, I've taken in those words. So yeah,
That's
Yeah.
encouraging,
I'm sure
bro.
others out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, brother, I think we're coming to an end with our episode of you there, brother.
Mm.
Thank you
I
so much.
know I've personally enjoyed your Talanoa,
Mm.
and I'm sure our listeners out there will too as well.
Yep.
It'll touch probably a lot of them as well in certain areas, and allow them to hopefully they can heal themselves with past demons
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
traumas. You know that what
Yeah.
you've shared, and I really appreciate the you sharing that encounter too, because that I sort of visioned what you were saying. Oh, far out, you know. I
Yeah.
imagine far out, and then yeah. So, and like you said, I guess the number one for me, the number one person is to respect the man above,
Yeah.
Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah,
Yeah. Amen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
So I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Tony.
that.
Thank you,
Thanks.
bro, Ray, for sharing. And I really agree with the bro what Charlie said. Thank you for taking time out and coming and sharing. And like there's so many stuff that we sort of that we didn't cover, but
Yeah.
the main objective, bro. Hopefully, we can get you back in the next round because your journey and your story is huge, man. But I guess we're running out of time. Is that right, Charlie? And
No,
so
not really. So I think he got right to the point with regards. I know we missed that health journey, but you mentioned what the instability and stability.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
no, that's sweet, mate. And I'm not sure whether you can see on my screen. It's dark.
yeah. I think you can see it on my screen.
Yeah.
So, brother, I can see Gold Coast or wherever you're at, the border of New South Wales. It's
Yeah.
still sunshine over there.
Still sunshine here,
Yeah,
bro.
sunshine.
So,
Yeah.
no, brother. Hey,
Ray,
look,
any shout outs to anyone you want
yeah,
to
yeah.
say hello to, or
Oh,
you have
just
boys back
yeah,
home, or
just shout out to everyone in Porirua, man. Those that we grew up with, there's so many, and all my whānau down there as well. Yeah, just yeah, man. And thanks guys for having me on, man. It's been, I've been loving your guys' kaupapa, listening to, guys coming on from back home. It's been so encouraging, and yeah, good on you, fellas.
Thank you for coming on too, bro.
Yeah,
Awesome.
good on you.
Yeah, I'm sure the brother Dave will bump into him at the gym. He may be on the page. I don't know.
yeah.
I have to invite him.
Oh, that fella, he's a gym junkie now, eh?
Right, he's there till midnight.
Oh,
So,
good on him. Good
go
on him.
home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So nah. Hey, look, love to you, love to your family,
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
and everyone there, brother. Oh, and your kuri.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Cheers, bro. Thank you, bro.
So from Blood, Sweat and Talanoa and the crew Tahoe and Shane who's running who's our
Yeah.
producer. Kia orana, e kia manuia. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Ka kite anō.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother.